Request denied. County commissioners voted down the sheriff's request for more money, saying they just can't afford it. Columbus County Sheriff Bill Rogers requested an additional $650,000 to increase the sheriff's salary budget. He proposed it as part of a restructuring to correct inefficiencies found within the department. County Manager Edwin Madden said after just approving the new budget, commissioners would either have to raise property taxes or pull the money from the general fund to afford the sheriff's request. In the end, while voicing support for the new sheriff, commissioners voted unanimously to deny it.
No way we can talk bad about our sheriff and their deputies is what they're doing for the county right now. They're doing an outstanding job. But like I said, I just don't think citizens of Columbus County can afford another tax increase at this time.
Commissioners said the morale in the sheriff's office has improved since Rogers took over, but money is just too tight to grant the request. Commissioners also approved a deal to sell the former Chadbourn Middle School. Grace Temple Healing and Deliverance Outreach Ministry is buying the property for $150,000. Now, as part of the sale, the group will use the property for a public youth activity center, and they must give yearly updates to commissioners about what they have achieved. If it is not used for the specific purpose, the building will revert to the county's ownership.